Hey guys, today I have a video all about spelling and the spelling that we do with Heart of Dakota. So stay tuned if you're interested in seeing how I am setting up for our spelling so that we are nice and organized going into the year this year. Good morning guys. I have a little bit of preparing for next year to show you guys. We are doing Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory with one of my boys from the beginning, and the other is finishing it up. We started with both of them doing it last year. If you watched any of my videos from the beginning of school year last year, this is one of my little boys I'm talking about here. So we did something different in the fall. We changed some things up, and I'll talk about that in another video. But today I'm doing some prep for our spelling for Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory. So I thought I would share that with you this morning. The guide, when you go through Beyond, tells you to write out the spelling words on index cards as you go. And I've done that before, and I've lost some of the index cards, and I came up with what I think will be a better system for keeping it organized this year. So totally not necessary, but it's just something that I wanted to do. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing this. Okay, so I made our spelling words onto cards on my computer. I kind of love doing design. I like graphics art, I like design, all that stuff, so I do that all the time. I actually have a planner that I make. So I took my software that I have and I went ahead and made these into cards that I can cut out, and I'm going to be cutting them out on my guillotine here. Guillotine, I think it's pronounced guillotine. Anyway, and then I've made some tabs to put on some dividers, and those are all going to go in my little tin here. Probably going to replace that spelling with something prettier, but anyway, I'm going to put them in here, and my plan is to use these little clips to mark where my boys are in here, because I've got two boys that are going to be using the spelling list. One's going to be using spelling list 1, and one will be using spelling list 2. So I've got the green cards here, spelling list 1, and then I made blue for spelling list 2, so they can we can tell them apart if they get mixed up. So I'm going to cut all this up, and I will show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. So it did take me quite a while to cut out all these spelling cards, but I think it was worth it just because now I'm not going to have to worry about writing out cards and keeping track of them during the year. I've done that before, and I've just kind of collected piles of these spelling cards, and I didn't have a really great system for keeping them together. I did have these tins, and I was trying to keep them in these tins last year, but then I didn't have all the dividers made, and I just didn't get it all ready in the first place, so it didn't work that well for me. So I wanted this year to go into the year with it completely set up, this whole spelling system just set up and ready to go, so we can just grab out our cards each week and use them and then put them away. And I just think that it's going to work much better for us if I've already got this organized, because during the year you don't always have the time to keep everything perfectly organized when you're organizing as you go. Whereas if I organize it all ahead of time, I feel like I'm much better prepared. I'm setting myself up to be better able to manage the spelling cards. So I'm doing this, and I'm just kind of a crafty person anyway, so I enjoy this kind of thing. I enjoyed doing this, even though it did take me a little while. Okay, so I've got all of list 1 done. There they all are. And now I'm going to do list 2. Wondering, I did print these little tabs on label paper right from my printer, and then I cut them out and folded them over, leaving some overlap on the top of this craft paper card set that I got from, I think it was Hobby Lobby. I actually just bought them. I don't know what it was called, but it was a set of small cards. I'm not sure what the size was. The size wasn't perfect for fitting in my tin, so I did have to kind of trim them down a little bit so they would fit better, but altogether, this worked out really well. Okay, that is list number 2 finished. So I have list number 1 and list number 2 and little boy. And now I'm going to finish cutting out these cards and put it all together. If you don't have multiple kids using this Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory or using the spelling list from Heart of Dakota, I think it would be so much simpler just to each week take a stack of index cards and write the cards out just like the guide tells you to do. But I have multiple kids that use this, so I decided this was a better option for us if I just type it up and make these cards beforehand. Okay, so I'm finally done. Let's see what it looks like. Don't mind my kids in the other room. This is real life. They're over there. Okay, so here is, I was just gonna do them in one of these canisters, but they didn't fit. It was a little bit too much to have in one. So here is spelling list 1. Ta-da! So I've got all of them in here every single week, plus the extra. There's some additional practice of contractions in the back. And then I've got this to mark which one we're on as we go. We're all starting on number 1, so there it is. Spelling 1 and spelling list 2. There it is. This one has kind of a blue accent, and I put blue on the cards, and it's marked up in the corner so I can see. This took a long time to cut these out, so if I had it to do over, no, I would, because I've done them by hand before and I like this better. But in the guide it tells you just to write them on index cards. So here's an idea of what you can do for getting ready for spelling for the year. I like it. I think it'll work well for us. So that is our spelling setup for this year. I have my 2 little boys, my 7 and 8-year-olds that are going to be using those. My 8-year-old started it last year and he's going to continue this year. He started with list 1, which actually we skipped up to list 2 because he was just always getting everything right. So we skipped to list 2 and now he's better placed there, I think. So that's what we're doing. My older girls are doing the dictation, so they take that straight from the index in their guides. You guys enjoyed that little look inside how we do spelling with Heart of Dakota, and I'll see you guys in the next video.